7:32 right back here on the 16th day of March. Are you guys pro wrestling fans? No?
My kids are. I get stuck watching wrestling. I'm not necessarily a fan, but
I just thought, it's Stone Cold Steve Austin Day, so I figured, we'd throw that out there, but no one so far has bid on anything. I had the music and everything. Oh, well, I just want to talk about the great open house coming our way, because this is really cool. All joking aside, Julia's Banquet Center is really a staple business in the community, and indeed, to me, the defining feature of Eastgate Plaza. You go there and you see that building, and to me, that's what makes it whole. Cassie and Evan, how are we doing today?
good.
Good. And so this is cool. So Evan, you've been with Julia since what? Off and on since 2013?
Yep, out of college and just back and forth. It's basically my home. I can always go back to and help Jules whenever she needs me.
Right on. And now, Cassie, you're 8 months in?
Yep.
But you've been around Eastgate Plaza for quite a long time.
Yeah, it's been, about 5 years now?
Wow.
Yep.
That's crazy. So you were at JJ Thermos?
Yes, I managed JJ Thermos from when they opened until they closed.
Right on. And so take us through the development of Eastgate, because, you're kind of the, bird's eye view, really, or on the ground there. It developed when this first started, I was with Rigdon, and we were going in and kind of looking at some of the lines and locating them and seeing where things were going, but didn't really see the vision until all of a sudden the concrete started getting poured and went, all righty here, we're came to play. What has that development been like, especially from someone from your perspective?
It's been awesome. I feel like Eastgate has done, wonderful for the community of East Alton, and we have, they've done a wonderful job on the renovation, and we're so happy to have all the businesses that we do have and hope to continue to grow. We do currently have spaces for lease, from turnkey to things that you can build out, and customize and do what you'd like to do with it. And you can, if you'd like to see any of those spaces, you can contact Julia Kennedy to do that. But like I said, in a whole, it's been great experience, and to be able to see everything come together, I guess you could say.
Yeah, well, I love it too, because it seems like all the businesses and all the people that are, making up Eastgate Plaza right now really work well together and come up with really cool things to bring people in and collaborate. Is that kind of the case?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. And you guys can head on over to Eastgate Plaza on March the 19th for this open house. It's from 12 to 2 p.m. And you guys really are an all-in-one event center, and
we are
everything.
Yes.
Take us through this open house. What's it going to look like?
So our open house, we will have, four different suites we have inside, and then we have our outdoor courtyard. Mm-hmm. And whenever you walk in, you will see a lot of, we'll have one room set up for just strictly a ceremony, where you'll see all your chairs, facing up towards the arch. One of our rooms will be set up as what it would look like for a reception, just to be able to see. And then, our big room will be set up. We'll have, half the room where people can sit and do food tastings and sample cake and things like that. And then the other half will have where you can see all of our linen colors that we have, napkin colors, tablecloths, decorations, centerpieces, things like that.
And I hate to do this. I do this once a show. Well, everyone knows I do this once a show. I'm going to throw something on you. Do you know how the square footage, how big Julia's is? Because it's got to be thousands of square feet.
I really honestly don't know, but it is huge. Like I said, every one of our spaces are a decent size.
Right.
We added on the outdoor courtyard that obviously gave us some more square footage. And I can't tell you how many times people come in and they're just like, wow, I never knew from the outside how big this place actually was.
Well, and that's the thing, because it's a bigger building when you drive by it, but you walk in the door and you go, oh my God, this is a monster,
And even as long as Julia's been there, we just had an event 2 weeks ago, it was an after funeral luncheon that we did, and I had two different people that night tell me I've always passed by, but I've never been inside, and this is just not what I expected. This is beautiful. This is awesome.
Yeah.
And
oh, you're right. And so in terms of the open house, so when we walk in at 12, what is kind of going to be the overview? Is it kind of just an interactive, or you walk through tour at your own pace?
Yeah, we'll have some vendors on site. I know Savvy Formalware is coming. We'll have a florist. We will have our in-house DJ that we use, a photo booth for people to see that's an option to go ahead and rent that for your event. And yeah, you can kind of at your own pace tour the venue, go check the rooms out, come back and, like I said, sample some of our most popular dishes, cake flavors, things like that. And so really, like I said, at your own pace, however you want to do it. And
yeah, that's what I think is so cool. So I got to ask you guys, do you have a favorite room in the building? Is there one that you go, yeah, this is right? If I had the choice to put an event here, this would be the room?
I like our big room. I like the
Yeah.
Jacqueline suite. I'm like, that one's my
say, I like
favorite.
the Jacqueline suite
And you
as
know,
well.
and Jacqueline, like I said, it's a big room. We can seat up to 400 guests in there. We have a 2-tiered stage. There is a big dance floor. Like I said, just plenty of space. And then even going into the other rooms, like our summer suite, I think that one has more of an elegant feel. It has like the big crystal chandeliers. The Krause suite has more of a rustic feel, I would say. You've got the fireplace in the wall. And then our back suite that's attached to the outdoor courtyard, that one we actually just this week did a little renovation on it just to kind of make it more neutral and just match everything. And so we're finishing that up right in time for the open house.
That's perfect. Well, and so take us through some of the ins, because this is what I find fascinating is your guys' process and figuring out what would be best for, everybody. And because you don't have the luxury of going, well, if we can redo the room just for you, and then next week it's a different room.
Right.
What's some of that process look like? Do you go through just a couple of styles that you see online or that you find in some pamphlets and you kind of develop it from there? How does that go?
Like whenever they're designing the room
Yeah,
wise?
whenever they're re-updating it, like you just said with those neutral.
Right, and that's the thing. We just try to make it neutral where, it looks nice, it's neutral. You can, people can do what they want with the room. You can dress it up, dress it down, things like that. And, a lot of people bring their own idea, have their own ideas that they show us. And more than, it's great to make it happen.
And then in the 8 months that you've been there, and then I'm going to ask you the same question, but not so 8 months, but but in the terms of all of the events you guys have been a part of or helped set up for, what's been the doozy of one, like the big mammoth one? Has there been one job that you're like, uh-oh, I'm calling off next time, or this was a lot more than we anticipated? Have there been jobs like that? Because you guys manage so well.
I mean, I really don't think so, to be honest with you. We have, there's the whole, as a whole, setting up for banquets is just a tedious process. Like, people don't realize how much time goes into, if you have a 300-person event and you're putting chair covers on every single chair and sashes on every chair and, you're putting out every piece of silverware. And so it's definitely like a very tedious job, I would say. But I don't think there's really been so much of a disaster because we know what to expect going in.
Big event because you guys do so many. I mean, heck, there's the the JFK dinner that you guys do there. It's huge, and I've seen Governor Pritzker show up in your guys' spot a couple of times. So I mean, you guys, how does it feel to work for a place where that it's recognized by not only us here, but a diplomat up in Springfield that's going, let's utilize this space. That's got to be pretty cool, regardless of where you stand.
Yeah, it's definitely cool, and like I said, it's exciting. That's what I definitely love the job and being able to, like I said, have somebody come in and say, this is what I want, and making it happen. It's fun.
You're reading me pretty perfect. That was a perfect segue because I was going to ask you guys. So, what's the best part of working in an event space like this? Because it seems like you have a lot of creativity at your disposal too to
absolutely
use your own ideas and make something cool.
Yeah, we definitely do, and Julia makes sure that we have everything that we need, and if it's not there, she always finds a way to make it happen. And
that's what I've heard is working for Julia is actually really a great experience all across the board.
Absolutely,
it's amazing.
That's so cool. And on top of the open house, we're talking about Julia's all-in-one event center, perfect for any occasion, really it is. And the open house is March 19th from 12 to 2 p.m., but just because I am who I am, I got to ask you about the Easter Day buffet, which is 10:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. I'm excited about this. This is cool.
Holidays are great there. They really are. We have.
Do you guys do quite a bit of these?
Yeah, we do Easter, Mother's Day, Thanksgiving, and Christmas.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I'm glad I asked because I really had no idea.
Yeah, and all of those are open to the public by reservation only, which you can call, email, any of that to make your reservation.
I got the phone number for you guys, 618-251-2001. And I can't even read you the menu because I have lunch in an hour and I just can't rush that process. But this is really cool. I did not know about all these things that you guys do for the community. Are there different types of things just like this buffet or maybe an open house that we don't know about that you want to touch on?
We do have like a big vendor fair coming up at the end of April, last weekend of April, and I know that she's booked out all the spaces, and she has rented 3 rooms, but she's booked out all of the spaces that she had available for vendors. So I think that's going to be huge. We have our holiday buffets that we do. We do the open house twice a year. We do spring and fall.
That is so cool. I mean, it's one of those things. That's why I do the show. I always tell people when I was in St. Louis doing the radio side of things, I thought, there's so many places you drive by every day and you really have no idea what goes on inside of them. And so I got to ask you, for these big events, what's the prep time look like? Is that like a couple hours? Is it, couple of days? How does that work?
It really just depends, but I'd say anywhere from a couple hours to a day. There are times that
Wow.
it does take us, the whole day, and the next thing you know, it's 4 o'clock. Days flown by, but everything's done.
Yeah.
Hey, that's all. At least the day's going by quick,
Yeah.
you know? That's awesome. And really so cool. So with all this being said, how long do you guys typically, book out for? Because I know a lot of people like to, use the venues, but they don't realize the waiting list or waiting period for certain rooms. What's your guys' at?
So we do currently have things booked for 2024. We even have something for 2025 already. But looking at this
God.
fall, which is wedding season, we do have a couple Saturdays still open, but it definitely just a couple.
You better call now if you're getting married. But it just shows really what you guys do and how good you are at what you guys do. If you're getting booked out, not this for next year, but already getting a booking for 2025, something's going right there.
Yeah.
And the only thing I ask is, I hate to do this on the air, but maybe in April we talk about this vendor fair because this is a huge deal. This is a bunch of vendors coming in, right? That
The woman that sets it up, her name's Andrea, and she has, like I said, has a bunch of people lined up. She is super excited about it, and I'm super excited too, as this is my first time, doing something with a vendor fair.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And being there, how is it pretty easy to kind of bounce ideas off of, someone like Evan who's been there off and on for, well over 8 or 9 years now. That's got to be kind of nice to have that, liaison almost.
Right. Yeah.
And once again, the open house, we get some cake and everything.
Cake and everything.
God
Get
damn,
food
we're
samples,
in business.
cake, yeah.
We are in business today. Okay, and you guys get to check out all the rooms that are available and get you some good insights for when you get married. The grandkids are starting to date now. Whatever you need, Julia's Banquet Center is there to support all of your event needs. So Sunday, March the 19th, join me there 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. for the Julia's Banquet Center open house. Evan, Cassie, thank you so much for hanging out with me a little bit.
Yes,
Thanks,
thank
TJ.
you.
And right now it's 10:44 in the heart of the Riverbend. A quick break. We're coming back and wrapping up this bad boy and this Thursday in the heart of the Riverbend.